Zombies, undead monsters, figures of dread and fascination, driven by a hunger for the living, a primal, insatiable need that defines their existence. They have haunted our stories for decades, evolving from slow-moving ghouls to terrifying hordes. In fiction, a zombie is a reanimated corpse, brought back from the clutches of death, stripped of memory and personality, reduced to pure instinct, a shell of their former selves. Think of the slow walkers from The Walking Dead, a relentless tide of the undead, or the frenzied infected in 28 Days Later, showcasing a different, terrifying kind of zombie. These creatures symbolize a total loss of humanity, a chilling reflection of what we could become. Turning loved ones into mindless threats, a horrifying betrayal of the bonds we cherish. The classic zombie origin, a fast-spreading virus, transforming victims irreversibly, creating a pandemic of the undead. Science, however, offers a starkly different perspective. Reanimating the dead is, as far as we know, impossible, a violation of natural laws. When we die, our brains and bodies break down rapidly. The process of decay begins almost immediately. There's no coming back from that irreversible decline. Muscles stiffen, tissues decompose, the building blocks of life disintegrate, and the intricate brain networks that make us who we are lost forever, our consciousness extinguished. Even with electrical stimulation, powerful shocks intended to restart the heart, you can't restore the complex coordination or consciousness, the essence of what makes us human, needed for movement or thought, the very functions that define our existence. The laws of biology and physics, the fundamental principles of the universe, keep the dead firmly in the grave, a boundary that remains unbroken. So, zombies remain a chilling fantasy, a product of our imagination fueled by our deepest fears, one that science firmly rejects, a realm of fiction far removed from the realities of life and death. While human zombies are a staple of fiction, often depicted in movies and books, the concept of a reanimated corpse is purely imaginative. However, nature showcases its own brand of eerie mind control, demonstrating that the natural world can be just as unsettling as any horror movie. Take the Ophiocordyceps fungus as a prime example of this phenomenon. This parasitic fungus infects ants, infiltrating and hijacking their nervous system with remarkable precision. It compels them to climb to specific locations, often high up on plant stems, and die in perfect spots that optimize the fungus's ability to spread its spores. The ant essentially becomes a puppet, its actions dictated entirely by the invading fungus. The ant's body is then used as a vessel to release spores, ensuring the infection spreads to other unsuspecting ants in the colony. In humans, rabies presents a different yet equally disturbing form of mind control. This virus invades the brain, disrupting its normal functions. It causes extreme aggression, confusion, and even paralysis, ultimately helping the virus spread through bites from infected individuals. Prion diseases such as Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease offer another grim example. These diseases relentlessly destroy the brain, progressively erasing memory, personality, and cognitive function. These conditions are undeniably terrifying in their ability to alter behavior and destroy the mind. However, it's important to remember that they don't actually reanimate the dead, as depicted in zombie lore. Instead, they serve as stark reminders of how biology, particularly viruses and fungi, can profoundly warp behavior in living hosts. The concept of true zombification, raising the dead and controlling them, remains firmly rooted in the realm of pure fantasy and science fiction. But nature's real zombies, those creatures whose behavior is manipulated by parasites, are chilling and fascinating in their own right, offering a glimpse into the darker side of the natural world. Could a virus in theory ever create zombie-like behavior in humans? In theory, a pathogen could combine rabies aggression, making people violent, flu's rapid spread, infecting many, and prion-like brain damage, causing neurological issues. The result? Living people, sick and violent, but definitely not undead. But engineering such a complex virus is nearly impossible. Dead tissue simply can't be revived, and viruses absolutely need living hosts to propagate. Extreme aggression would likely kill the host quickly, unfortunately, limiting the outbreak significantly. The human brain is far too complex to control with precision. Chaos is easy to create, but coordination is not. Even the most advanced science and technology can't create true zombies. The idea makes for great fiction and entertainment, but reality is far less dramatic and sensational. The dead will stay dead, thankfully. The real threat in zombie stories isn't just the monsters themselves. It's the terrifying speed and ease with which society unravels, exposing the fault lines we often ignore. Imagine a new, terrifying disease sweeping the globe. Panic spreads faster than any virus, amplified by misinformation and uncertainty. People hoard supplies driven by primal survival instincts. Trust in institutions collapses under the weight of the crisis, leaving people feeling abandoned, and chaos erupts as desperation takes hold. Hospitals overflow, overwhelmed by the sheer number of patients, supply chains break, disrupting the flow of essential goods, and law and order dissolve, replaced by a struggle for survival. In fiction, the true danger is often other survivors, those who have lost their humanity, not the zombies themselves. These stories reflect our deepest fears about widespread disaster and the potential for complete social collapse. The zombie outbreak serves as a stark metaphor for losing control in the face of overwhelming circumstances and the inherent fragility of the order we take for granted. The monsters aren't just the undead, they're the embodiment of panic, the corrosive effects of distrust, and the descent into utter chaos. A real zombie apocalypse in the literal sense isn't likely coming anytime soon, but understanding the immense power of fear and its potential consequences is absolutely vital for navigating real-world crises. That's the real, and perhaps most important, science lesson hidden behind the zombie myth.